Today we speak to Severin. He is a lightning engineer working for Synonym, and he also created his own product. He is a perfect example for how to find a job in Bitcoin. And he also has some really good tips for students and career starters. So listen till the end. Enjoy.
What came first, your job in Bitcoin, or did you create your service?
So I was always working in startups. I finished university as a software engineer, then started working in startups. And after working in startups for 3-4 years, I decided to create my own product. I started to be a digital nomad, and Ellen Router, my Bitcoin service, was then the first Bitcoin thing that I did, basically. And then I started to work as a lightning engineer at Synonym. So I created the Ellen Router app first. It was my first touching point with Bitcoin, the first time I actually learned deeply about the Lightning Network, the Bitcoin Lightning Network. Obviously, back in the startup days, we already talked about Bitcoin. We already bought Bitcoin, and we were interested in how these things work. But actually working with it and spending a decent amount of time a week with the technology, I only started with Ellen Router, and that was end of 2020, as far as I know.
How did you come up with the idea for that?
So first I discovered the Lightning Network, and nobody was talking about the Lightning Network back then. And I saw a lot of layer 2 solutions on Ethereum, on a lot of other chains. But I was like, we have this Lightning Network thing here. Nobody talks about it. Nobody really uses it so far. But this is obviously the future of Bitcoin. So I was just starting to explore the Lightning Network, running my own node, see opening channels and trying new things. And I run into several problems. And the idea of Ellen Router was a service to solve the problems I encountered running a Lightning node back then.
And then you thought, if I need this, maybe other people need this too?
Yeah, exactly. The problems I'm having, I'm 100% sure everybody else has. And when you actually talk to the people, you see they indeed have it. And so I started small with just publishing the Lightning graph to explain how things work. And then I continued on with one more service, and at the end, I turned it into a paid service, which is still running and still going well.
Where did you talk with people to understand other people have this problem too, or to tell people that you launched this product?
So the whole early Lightning Network was happening in Telegram groups, interestingly. There is a Bitcoin Lightning Telegram group from Switzerland. There was one from Germany. Then you had the core Lightning implementation, Telegram groups, a lot of different Telegram groups. If I would go back to Telegram and just count how many groups, bigger groups I am in, it's probably around 25 Lightning groups just for this purpose. And first you just go in, talk to these people, see how they're doing, what problems they have, and then you also publish. As soon as I started working on my own stuff, I also started publishing Ellen Router in these groups, hey, I built a new tool, give me feedback, tell me if you like it or not, or if you think it's complete bullshit. And then you do the traditional marketing, some Twitter, some Reddit, and other platforms where you can advertise your service.
So this came first, which was basically your proof of work project, as we often call it, which basically shows to the world, you know what you're doing, you've been in Bitcoin for a while, you built your own product. Is this how you found your job at Synonym?
So with all the work I did on Ellen Router, I gained a lot of experience in the Lightning Network, and I started to do freelance work for other people, set up a node that they can run, or teach or educate people on how the Lightning Network works, and blah, 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 blah. And during one of my freelance contracts, there were talks on how to get Lightning liquidity, and John was offering this Lightning liquidity John is the CEO of Synonym, and we sat together and discussed how we can make it work for this freelance client. And that's how I got into contact with him. And at some point, I decided to go back to a job. So I sent him a message, and basically, yeah, this one message turned into a job that I have right now. So very untraditional.
Exactly, which is what I'm noticing is the main path in Bitcoin. There are many people who are sending out CVs and wonder why they are not being successful. But the main way is to network and to have a proof of work project, which in your case, you're a perfect example of this. So, and you started your thing without any expectations, just to fix something for yourself, to fix something for the community, and then things just happened from there. And yeah, and you built your network to a point where you felt comfortable to reach out and send a message, hey, I'm looking for a job.
In Lugano, a lot of students or just people that finished their university or graduated their university ask me how to get a Bitcoin job. My main recommendation was do a side project with Bitcoin. Show the employers that you have basic knowledge of Bitcoin, that you can learn quickly to give you an advantage compared to everybody else. Because as a Bitcoin company, if you can hire somebody with the knowledge, like at least the basic knowledge of Bitcoin, this is worth so much, because otherwise they would need to teach you this everything. And there's also one thing, there's one website, and the website is called Summer of Bitcoin. And it is a website for internships, which is also very interesting. So you can apply there to work as a remote intern at the company. They offer, like every summer, they offer a lot of projects, and you can gain your first Bitcoin experience. And this is another way to get into Bitcoin. You will also get a mentor there that guides you in this process. And yeah, I believe this is quite valuable.
If somebody would want to get into Bitcoin now, find their first job, is there any other tips you had? You mentioned that you were hanging out in Telegram groups when you first started. Is that something you would do today as well?
I'm not sure I would start out with Telegram groups right now, because these Telegram groups are now 1,000+ people members in there, which is just too much. It was very intimate at the beginning, let's say it like this. How to do it right now? Go to Bitcoin conferences. Like experience the vibe, like get to know people, talk to people at booths, if they offer internships, if they offer, like if they take juniors, for example, or stuff like this. And yeah, get in contact.
So what did we learn from Severin? He created a really strong network, and he had a really good proof of work. He created a product that didn't only solve his own problems, but the problems that he knew other people had as well. And he created such strong relationships that he felt comfortable to reach out to them and say, hey, I'm looking for a job. Do you know of anything? So you can do that too. Start exploring, start joining the communities of your favorite projects, start using apps, become a beta tester, network with people online, with the founding teams, or just with any other Bitcoin users. Go to conferences if you can. Yeah, network. And the more you talk to people, like Severin said, the more you find out what challenges people have and whether there are already solutions for them or not. And if you start creating something, you can also ask the others for feedback. So I hope this helped, and remember to sign up on Telegram to the Bitvocation feed, which will deliver all the latest Bitcoiner job openings straight to your phone. See you in the next video.